Koto, thank you so much for all your work. I really appreciate all your listening, and it's a privilege to be here. So my name is Rosie Fyfe. I'm fifth generation New Zealander. My first ancestor arrived here in 1841. So just after the treaty, so they were tangata tīriti, as I am too. I am a deacon in the Anglican Church, hence the fancy dress today. And I'm also the National Director of NZCMS, which is the New Zealand Church Missionary Society. So obviously CMS missionaries had a lot to do with the original Te Tiriti. So as an organisation, we are very passionate. We have partnerships with the Māori Anglican Church, and we seek to honour the Te Tiriti in our work now. And this organisation, CMS, has had so much to do with the founding, and I don't need to give you a history lesson, but the role of James Stephen back in the UK, who came out of the same movement as CMS, the translation, and also the fact that Waitangi signed, partly because of the trust they had of the CMS missionaries. I won't talk a lot, but I will just say that I think the understanding of Te Tiriti as a covenant is really important. It's not a contract that ends, it's a relationship that continues. It's based on relationship and trust. I'm reasonably new back in New Zealand. I've lived overseas, but the work of Alistair Rees and Hamish McLean has really shaped my understanding as a Christian in this land and my role as director of CMS. And really interesting to think about some of the first translated words were that of the Bible in Aotearoa in its English and into written Māori. And it's actually the role of scriptural and understanding of the rangatira. There's some quotes around how they understood covenant actually fundamentally in the Bible and how they translated that into tiriti. I don't think we talk about that lots in a mainstream context. So really that understanding of treaty as covenant, and also it's pretty obvious that treaties between two parties, so one party can't change it. I want to share briefly one story from this role. I've been in this role 5 years. I was privileged to go to Tauranga to take part in an apology that the Anglican Church did around some land that was given to CMS missionaries that was inappropriately used and sold, and then another hill on restorative justice. And sometimes I wish every New Zealander, every citizen could come and be part of that, because I had such a deep sense of the role of Te Tiriti for tangata whenua, particularly as they came up in shares, and what restorative justice or measure of restorative justice could look like in this land. So I would ask that this bill be dismissed. I'm actually really saddened by division that this bill has already caused, and I hope that we can continue together in a fruitful way in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Thank you so much.
Good, thank you for that. We've got a question from Steve Adrian.
Kia ora, thank you so much. I have been reflecting a lot myself on the idea of treaty as covenant, and that it seems that tangata whenua have always held the treaty as sacrosanct, whereas when it's left to the care of tangata tiriti, it ends up sort of mouldering in a basement in Wellington, damp and gnawed at by rats, you know.
Indeed.
And that what we need more than ever is for tangata tiriti to step up in defence of the treaty that is our constitutional foundation, because after all, I wonder if you can reflect on this, the real beneficiaries of Te Tiriti Waitangi are tangata tiriti.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's worth thinking about the two different understandings both parties brought to this. And actually, I'm a historian by background, so I think actually understanding what did it actually mean for those who signed it? What does it mean for us now? I mean, that's such a cool thing to reflect on. I mean, I think our nation is stronger when we all take part in that bicultural relationship. I think our organisation CMS is stronger when we work with our Māori partners. We have Māori evangelists in partnership, and that is such an amazing thing in our organisation. So I think you're right. It's not a scarcity mentality we lose things. It's actually what could our country look like? What could our future look like? I've heard Justice Phil Williams at Waitangi a couple of years ago talk so passionately about what it means to be a country in the South Pacific that just lives out of that beauty of fullness of culture and relationship and trust. I think it's like an inspiring vision for the future. So I recommend this talk to anyone.
Good, thank you for that, Rosie. We're at time, so we'll leave it there. But thanks for your submission. Thanks for coming online.
Thanks so much.
Just for those noticing, I don't think we ended up with Ian, but we ended up with Rosie Fyfe, and I'm quite intrigued. I wonder if she's from the similar lineage of my family on my mother's side, because I'm sixth generation, but I think there's a generation gap between us two. And my family date, I think that's the Willis side, might date back to that particular era of it, because scarily enough, my grandmother's maiden name is Willis, and she had a brother who worked in the gas industry. However, we do not have any connection to Nicola Willis, if anyone knows about that. But no, it's interesting to find out the historic links of like where families have lined up and all that sort of thing, and how it's all interwoven together.
Yeah, look, I thought Reverend Rosie made wonderful points there, and I think probably the biggest thing that stood out to me, and it really came clue in her message, is about the relevance of the relationship more than the contract. And I really heard that from her. You know, it instantly took me to he tangata. It's always about the people. So I really appreciate that she put the people in the relationship first before the contract. great korero, Reverend. Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'd love to meet her at some point if we ever cross paths.
Yeah, look, you know, I'm not used to hearing usually the term restorative justice in this forum, you know, so that was quite a powerful way for me to look at things as well. Yeah, really good message. I'd like to sit and resonate that with a bit, and I'd also like another conversation with her. Yeah.
So true. Okay.
Some of my dear friends are out of the Anglican parish, and they happen to be women priests as well, ordained reverends, and they're powerful wahine. They often have something really compelling to contribute. So thank you, Rosie. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Next up is Legislation Design and Advisory Committee is the next.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook